Hey, what's up, everybody? We have a new YouTube channel. Make sure you subscribe right now. Leave a comment on the video. Share it with your friends. It's also a podcast, 3 and Out, wherever you listen with me, John Middlekauff, Apple, Spotify. We have you covered, as well as thevolume.com. We have merch. Check out. I got 3 and Out hats right now. Thevolume.com. Search the podcast. Buy some merch. Okay, Fugazi Friday. Wanted to dive into some Fugazi Fridays. Looks like someone's dropping off a little something. Little Fugazi Friday. Randy Travis just came out with a new song that is AI generated. Do you think we'll see more Fugazi or AI generated songs from dead artists? Pretty sure Randy Travis is still alive. Could be wrong. I know he's been really sick. I'd be lying if I said I was that deep in the AI world. I mean, I listen to like podcasts people talk about. I don't necessarily use it yet. Like I'm sure some of you use it. Like I don't have an AI personal assistant. I don't really use Chat GPT that at all. Maybe I should start using it. But one thing, I listened to a podcast with one of like the leading guys. The All In podcast had forget the guy's name, Sam something, on talking about what they do with artists and how everyone gets compensated when it comes to artists. I think a huge reason that I love music is when you listen to a song and it like strikes you in your soul and that person's singing that song. And the best part about music, that could be something from the 60s, that could be something from 2023. That you're just like, this hits home. This moves me. And you know that comes from a human being. And then as time goes on, that person talks about how he wrote the song, how whatever he was going through influenced that part of the song. I'm not trying to sound like old man get off my lawn, but I just don't see how computers can, obviously they can generate the sound. Obviously they can create things that sound just like Randy Travis or Nirvana or whoever. They're going to be able to do it all. Who knows? They'll be able to do a podcast that sounds just like me, but they can never be me. Just like that person could never be Randy Travis or Kurt Cobain or whoever. Elvis. You go the history of music, and I'm not going to get on board with that. But you'd be naive to think little kids watch other people play video games on YouTube. That is extremely popular. If you would have told me, and like most kids in the 90s, I love video games. That was like a huge expansion time as, you know, we went from Nintendo to PlayStation, Nintendo 64, and Sega, and then to where we are today, where the graphics are incredible. I'm not a video game player anymore. But if you would have told me that people would love to watch other people play video games on television, I'd never believe you. So things change, and some things, like I said, just aren't for me. And maybe that's one of them, because my unborn children, maybe their favorite artists are going to be from the computer. And I'll just have to pretend to like it, I guess, in the car. Unlike my dad, who, if he hated a tape, I mean, I'm old enough where you put in tapes, and so are probably many of you listening, he would like throw it out the window. Probably shouldn't have been littering, but I definitely had a couple. I remember one time, I think like might have been a CD. One of the first CDs I ever bought was Doggy Style, Snoop Dogg. You know, in Tower Records, you had to like know a guy at the front, because if they had the parent advisory on the front, they wouldn't sell it to you if you were like 13 years old. I remember buying it, and I left it in my dad's truck, and then we got in. And let's just say he wasn't feeling it after Snoop dropped about 7 F-bombs. Great album. One of the greatest rap albums ever. What's up, John? My Fugazi Friday submission is now unnecessary apps have become for elementary transactions. I went to do laundry at my apartment washer dryer. The machines used to have a standard payment pad where you could swipe or tap your card, or you could insert coins. We've all been there, baby. For years, never had a problem. You just put in some quarters and do a load. One day, they decided to take out the card reader and replace it with a QR code. Now you have to download the app for the washer and put money onto the app. Then take a picture of the code. And half the time, the Bluetooth doesn't work on the damn machines, and I have to restart my phone. Keep in mind, the machines are not new, and they raise the price per load. There are no ads on the app either. What the hell is the point? Yeah, man. One thing I've embraced, I was telling Colin this the other day. The amount of things in my home connected to the phone is it's borderline uncomfortable. And one thing I definitely notice is all my TVs in the house, my remote is my phone. We have one hard remote, but I mainly keep it in the living room. And honestly, we never use it, which is like not that big a deal. But sometimes you're laying in bed. It's like, I don't want to touch my phone at all. But the only way to turn off the TV is your phone. And then you think about like from my garage to my blinds, I just got this pool cleaner. It's all an app. The little Roomba thing I got, the vacuum. So if we all have 7, 8, 10 things using an app, think of where we're going to be in 5 years. So I guess my pushback here is we can complain about it. The reality is the majority of our life, we're only at the beginning of this thing, is going to be on the phone. It's not going away. The hard transaction or just the hard manual press a button and you have to hold something is a dying thing. And if you think it's a pain or a problem now, if you view it that way, buckle up because it is only the beginning. So I'm at the point I kind of embrace it. It just kind of is what it is. Just the way the world is going. It's not, we're not going back. Fugazi Friday. College football coaches. Salaries. Ranked in order of what? He basically just goes Harbaugh, Smart, Kyle Whittingham, Kelly, Dabo, Lane. All of their base salaries are pretty low, between like 1.2 to 500K. But they all are top in bonuses, making them, $8 to $10 million a year. Here are the top Fugazis, no bonuses earned. Mel Tucker, buyout, 90 million. Jimbo Fisher, buyout, 77 million. Luke Fickle, buyout, 39 million. Venables, buyout, 30 million. Narduzzi, 28, etc. The crown jewel of Fugazi's, Matt Rule, zero bonus paid, $62 million payout. You know the biggest mismatch maybe in America right now is these academic institutions who are dependent on football because of the money it generates are run by a president who I wouldn't exactly call Jeff Bezos or Steve Jobs when it comes to doing deals. Well, Jimmy Sexton, who represents a lot of these guys, negotiates contracts for a living. That's what he does. His whole life revolves around that contract and the money involved in that contract. Where these presidents, that is not their priority. They're running these massive institutions that revolve around academics. So you could say he negotiates with an athletic director, who most athletic directors, Google how they came up, are like marketing guys, started in ticket sales. They have no chance against Jimmy, but ultimately they have to go through either a board or the president or a combination of both, who are very academically driven. And one thing is very consistent. And Jimmy's not alone. There are more agents that represent these coaches. They get fucking dominated. It is not a fair fight. It's why when Drew Rosenhaus tries to negotiate against Howie Roseman or Omar Khan or whoever, those guys have been dealing in specific contracts for what they're dealing with for a long period of time. And it's almost like if you ran Nebraska or ran Ohio State or whatever, you should essentially have a cap guy who is focused on your sports teams. So when Jimmy comes in, you can say, no, not doing that. Or no, we don't believe you. But that's not really what happens. He simply bends them all over. And it's not a coincidence. It really isn't. It just isn't because he's good at his job. He is. But it'd be like Nikola Jokic going up against some high school center. It's like, good luck, buddy. And it's why every one of these contracts all look the same. Very, very one sided. It's a consistent theme because academia negotiating against someone who does these contracts, even if they negotiate contracts for other things, clearly don't have a good feel for this because they get worked. Fugazi Friday. People who don't fucking slow down in construction or school zones. I slow down, and most of the time, someone tailgates me, then angrily pulls around and passes me. WTF. One thing I've done in my older age, because like a lot of young people, you get very mad on the road. You just scream and, I definitely tailgate guys and just do stupid things. I do the opposite now. When someone does that, I just try to justify it in my head. Maybe they're rushing home to their sick child. Maybe they're headed to pick up their wife at the airport. I don't know. I just don't care. Now the school zone thing, I agree, especially around if you're driving by a school zone in the morning or the afternoon when they're picking up. Like, slow down. But I one thing about Arizona, I feel like everyone on the road feels like they are Lewis Hamilton or Dale Earnhardt. It is crazy how fast people drive and how aggressive people are. And for the most part, I just let them go. I don't care. And I'm not exactly slow on the roads, but I've gotten to the point, I guess my reaction to your statement, I just don't care. I'm like a football coach. Just worrying about me. We're just focused on my car. We're just trying to get where I'm trying to get. I can only control myself. That's what I tell myself. That was my SEC football coach. Fugazi Friday. Duck sauce packets at Chinese takeouts. This is right up my alley. When you order Chinese takeout and you get 2 packets of duck sauce, which is well short of the amount you need, then when you ask for more packets, I often get a look like I'm trying to steal money from them, and they do give me more packets. It's like 1 or 2 max. Nothing bothers me more as a big sauce guy and a very fat guy at heart is not getting enough sauce. Now, when you pick something up, if you tip them when you pick it up, which is always a hot debate on this show, I don't feel bad about saying more. That's not enough. I need more. One key as a DoorDash guy or Uber Eats or whatever you may use, when you order something online and getting it delivered and you want more sauce, whether it's ranch, whether it's duck sauce or whatever you need, you know what the move is? Because in special instructions, let's face it, they read it 10% of the time. You call in and say, "Hey, I'm John. I just ordered chicken chow mein, broccoli beef, rice, pot stickers, and miso soup. I need 8 extra sauces." I will have no hesitation doing that. Key move. Zero shame when asking for extra sauce because, as anyone knows, sauce can definitely make a meal. I don't think I'm too locked into duck sauce. Recovery shoes, slides. Got a Fugazi for you. They're selling these things for $80 to wear after you work out. There is no such thing. They are just fucking shoes. Maybe I'm out of the loop. They have post workout shoes. I didn't know that. Like if I go to the gym and I'm going to shower there because I'm going to use the steam room in the sauna, I just bring an extra pair of shoes or sandals or whatever. What shoes post workout do you put on your feet that make it easier on your feet? Maybe I'm just out of the. I've never even heard of that. Does that exist? They sell post workout shoes for $80. Why wouldn't you just bring your own shoes? Is that really a thing? Honestly, I don't know. I've never been offered that or even seen that online. Maybe I'm out of the workout loop in terms of the current trends. Because like you said, I thought they're just shoes. Slides, are they extra easy on your feet? Is it because like you're doing deadlifts or squats? I don't know. I can't say I've ever heard of that, but I'm with you. That is a major, major scam. And maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'll have some workout guys say, well, there are actually these benefits. I just put on a different pair of shoes after I work out in my sweaty awns that are currently falling apart.